David, you're my daughter and I love you. Well, I have an opinion on that, but what do you like most about playing Scrooge McDuck?
That I get to be Scrooge McDuck. I mean, that's, I said no for this because I was excited about the whole thing of it, and Scrooge McDuck is such an iconic character, and then you start to realise how important this is to people, and how big a part of people's, because when I was a kid in Scotland, it wasn't a thing. I missed it. I'm a bit too old, I'm terribly young, obviously. But a little bit timey-wimey, I'm a little bit too old. But then you realise, and it's very exciting to be at the centre of something that people are so excited about. It's a bit of a responsibility as well. I do not accept this mantle lightly. But I think just to be part of something that people are so, as you Americans say, psyched about.
David, you're my doctor too.
How many patients do you have?
Oh, and I saw your father-in-law yesterday. What is it like being involved in not one, but two such iconic franchises with worldwide acclaim?
I feel like a god. I feel omnipotent, all-powerful, and I feel quite jammy, which is a Scottish word for lucky. No, I feel very honoured and terribly humbled, and yeah, it's great. You know, it's lovely to be in the middle of things that people are so enthusiastic about. You know, all this reflected glory. I'm very happy, very chuffed. Thank you.
Cheers.
Hello. David? I would like to see one of Scrooge McDuck's famous freakouts. Could you bring them out for just a second?
Can you write me a script?
I mean, you have your computer right monitor. I guess you could bring one up.
Yeah, it's really.
David, let's bring him out. I'll set that line.
Take more questions. This is going to take a second.
Take a minute.
Yeah, we'll
get back to it.
Thank you. They write a brand new script.
New episode right here.
You're getting a whole line written just for you, by the way, so be patient.
Hi,
Hey, Wonder Fan! I like that show.
I know!
Hi!
I was going to say, Rick's my doctor.
Hey! Thank you. Oh, thank you. What's your name? I'll make you a main character in the second season. Sheila. Scrooge McDuck's long lost. Mr. Sheila.
Okay, but my question is for everyone, or mostly the writers though. You talked before about how DuckTales this new show is going to be for the young generation, but obviously you're also coming in with a lot of older fans, both fans of the original run and also 20-somethings like me who are just into children's cartoons but they're good. So I was just wondering how you take into account that demographic of the fan base, if at all, during your process.
Oh, we definitely take it into account. As we said, like, we grew up huge fans of the show as well. And we want to make sure that everything we're doing on the show is paying homage to what came before and being referential and being reverential to it. You know, that you're not always going to see every single thing from the original show exactly the way the original show did it, but we're going to pay homage, we're going to have an Easter egg, or we're also just enriching the world as well. The more things that you see in the show the more things you'll see that refer to other things in the DuckTales lore and in the comic books, everything. I mean, we mine from every source that came before, because really what we're doing is riding on the coattails of some amazing creators who came before us, and we're just trying to put our own new spin on it, but be respectful to what came before. And also, there's nothing wrong with being a 20-year-old who watches children's cartoons. That's how I got my job.
Clearly. So, I think, am I wrong? I think we have a line. How prepped are we? Do we need more rehearsal time?
This is from, which episode was this from?
This was from the Comic-Con debacle.
You Mephistopheles and Medusa, get your hands off my family or we'll get you a proper walloping. Just to kill some bunch of galumphing gobstoppers!
This is a true fact. David helps us with all of this stuff.
Give it up to Frank, who just came up with that on the spot.
Give it up to Bob, Colleen, Christian, and Madison, who I stole that from and passed off as mail.
Hey Frank, can you, so I think like Dewey is reading War and Peace, and can you write a quick scene? He's reading War and Peace, but he knows every word by heart.
I think it's happening. All right.
Will you be making new DuckTales characters?
Good question. Yes, we will be doing new characters as well as old beloved characters. We definitely want to have, we're making it for a new modern audience. We want to make sure there's characters who speak to that new modern audience as well. And so one of our main characters, main villains that you're going to see next season his name is Mark Beeks, and he's a billionaire as well. He's one of the billionaires of Duckburg, and he's the new tech billionaire. And so
he cares more about Buzz than he cares about Bucks. You all know Flint Heart Glongold, classic Scrooge McDuck villain. I can say that Mark Beeks is the one person that Scrooge and Flint Heart hate more than each other.
My question is for David Tennant.
Thank you, I like your shirt. It's like my entire career.
To get into character, do you ever surround yourself by vast quantities of gold coins?
That's a good question.
Well, because of Disney's height and pay structure, I am always surrounded by gold coins. They're very difficult to get away from. But obviously the voiceover goods can be quite restrictive, so I tend to just line my underwear with them.
So...
I can't believe you guys are getting another Comic-Con exclusive. I cannot believe it. Frank, and this is your words. Nobody's ever written anything like this before, correct, Frank?
I hope not.
Okay. This is Dewey Duck doing his episode that revolves mostly around the book War and Peace. It was the best of times. It was the worst of. This book is the worst of times.
Bravo.
As we say in animation, that's why they pay me the medium bucks.
Hi, this is for David. I was at your last October down. So my question for you is, are you going to try to put in Dr. Who, talk to the writers, in your Scrooge character? Some lines, some phrases like you just did, Tiny Wayne?
It wouldn't be for me to do such abuse of other people's copyrights. I would pass that question over to the writers. I suspect the answer is probably not.
Legally, probably not. Under the table, whatever I can get away with. fishing.
That's amazing.
That would be so good.
Hi, I'm also a big, David, you're my first doctor,
Thank you.
but I have a big question for the entire cast. I know you can't reveal all the lines. Is there a favorite line from this or previous shows that you love?
Favorite line from this series or
Anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like Citizen Kane, or
Do you guys have some from? How the Venn diagram of DuckTales and Parks and Rec is just one big circle. What's one of your favorites? What's one of your favorite genre of things? All right. The world.
If I had a favorite line, it would be, "Hey, Mr. McTee."
I think we gotta write some more lines.
no, only 2 lines in the show.
No, it's mostly pantomime.
David, what's your favorite event in the DuckTales series?
Oh, are we allowed to say anything?
No spoilers.
Well,
Do you want to whisper it to me and I'll tell you if it's okay?
I think they just turned up the mics.
There's my favorite episode is one that takes place back in time.
Quick, go back in time and write that episode right.
In one of the shorts I saw online, there's a scene where Scrooge got traveled back in time. Will there be any more random nods to pop culture or fan stuff throughout the series, like laser beams and lightsabers, or no?
Well, the theme song has race cars and lasers.
Also, aeroplane.
And air.
This is my favorite. The writers are not allowed to write the word airplanes in the script. I always change it to aeroplanes.
I think our whole show is pop referential to itself. Does that count?
I will say one of the things that we really dig, as Sean mentioned last week at a different event, we all one of the great things about the crew is we all have the same set of references, and we pull from the same set of references. So there are some genre homages or some very specific style homages that we like a lot, but we try to keep it within the realm of, we're not a very pop culture reference heavy show because we like all the comedy to come from the characters and their interactions, but there's definitely some of it in there. And of course there's Disney Easter eggs all over the place.
Hi, well, I really thought, my name is Joanne. David, I love you on Doctor Who, and I hate you on Jessica Jones. But actually, Ben and Dan, you're kind of getting ignored, so I'm gonna, hi. How are you? I also love Community and Parks and Rec. I just wanted to ask you guys, those were original characters, and you're coming into DuckTales, and these are kind of established properties, and what was your process in developing your characters that, have already been there, you've already seen the original DuckTales?
I think one of the first things I did is I looked at the old cartoon and I saw that my character didn't wear pants, so I did not wear pants for a year. 1 full year, no pants. For me, what we did is a big thing that Frank and Matt, who've done an incredible job with the show and the writers, is that they wanted to distinguish between these characters. So when we were kind of playing with what ours were, right, Frank, Matt, we were trying to make sure that you didn't distinguish them because this one was wearing red, this one was wearing blue, this one was wearing green. You're going to fall in love with them because of the human beings they are, and then if you put them into any storyline, you can look at them and be like, oh, I know exactly what Dewey would do here. You know what I mean? Do we would do, I don't know, put it in a script. So that's like one of the ideas of like trying to establish this new one is seeing, I love the TV show and the video game and the fishing rods. I love it. So seeing that old aspect of it and then being like, ooh, how can we make this so it distinguishes itself and be like a character as a kid that I would root for. But listen to Danny because I think he has a better answer.
Ben's answer was amazing. I think Frank and Matt helped us a lot. We kind of came in and they played with our voices. We had to sound younger a bunch of times. Ben and I got to play a lot together, which helps a lot when we get to react to stuff. I had to scream a lot on this show, which that was like a fun surprise.
Danny Putty is the best cartoon screamer in the business. I will say that.
When he screams, so happy you close your ears. All right. Huey pretends he's not scared, but he's really scared. That's a Huey quality. What else did I do? I had to just kind of go back in time and remember myself when I was drinking Mountain Dews, reading Encyclopedia Britannica, eating Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies, and getting into fights with my brother and sister. And then I found Huey.
Hello, my name's Juan. I have a question for you, the writers. How did the decision to put comedy in this version come from? The original had more action than comedy.
Oh, there's tons of action in this. I want to say that, and I felt the original had comedy too. One of the things that really drew both of us, I think, to the property when we were growing up was that no one was doing adventure comedy with family stories at that period of time in syndicated cartoons. So we wanted to carry it over, but because we knew that the show should be about this big family, we treated it like it was a family sitcom, where the family just happens to be a family of the greatest adventurers known to man, but we wanted to make sure that it felt like a real relatable family. And we were very lucky to get this unbelievable cast who just brought so much of that naturally to their performances.
And we also really wanted a lot of, not just the comedy, but all of the adventure and action as well to come from the characters. So all the jokes and all of the things that, the humor that you're seeing is, it's not just because we're trying to tell jokes, it's because that's who the characters are and that's how they play with each other and that's how they interact. And so a lot of the comedy is just coming from their characters as well.
Hello.
Hi.
So I just think that I would like to ask all the voice actors, how did you react to getting to voice characters in DuckTales, such a popular and so famous cartoon TV series?
Thank you. I did that scream that you just heard earlier. I'm still like super excited. This is something that I watched when I was a kid, and I have kids who are here for their first panel. It's the first thing I can share with them that's not inappropriate, and I'm very excited about it. So I'm super excited.
When I got the role, I did the same stance. You remember the opening sequence in ER when he goes like that on the ground? I'll get into data reference. So,
ER reference? Is that a DuckTales reference?
I apologize. The Venn diagram is like that for this. I was really excited. I remember it being, I wanted this one real bad just because if I am able to do a voice and someone who was like a nerdy kid like me is watching and connects with it and like loves the show like I did, it would mean the world to me. So I was incredibly excited.
I think for me, you know when you get super excited and you just can like dance in your house with like a quiet scream, it was like for like a minute I was just so excited like that and I danced around by myself. But I think, yeah, like friends and I really wanted to be a part of this too because it's something I grew up with and to be a part of it now, I got super stoked or psyched.
I was happy to do a good job. And I know it's a cartoon for Disney. I've never seen an episode of DuckTales. My DuckTales growing up was Doctor Who. That's what I thought. So David Jones was my Doctor Who, which was So I realised how big a deal it was when I got to the first day of recording and they were like, okay, so we're going to play a bit of what David tended to do. I was like, what? And I freaked out a lot internally. I did my job, and I mean, I was always happy to be a part of it, but I'm so thrilled to see how excited people are, and as it's gone by, this is so good.
Usually when you find out you get job, your agent gets to call you and give you good news for the first time ever, or very rarely. But I worked with Bobby at Saturday Night Live, and he came to me. He was like, "Hey man, I'm in DuckTales. I think you're in it too." They loved your audition. I was like, "What? Really?" And then I just imagined he got it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you work with Beck. He's great too." And so I was like, "Did I get this or not?" So I didn't know how to react. And then I called my agent, and I was like, "Hey, am I in DuckTales?" And they were like, "Yeah, who told you?" They were like excited to give me good news. I was like, "This is amazing!" It was a little confusing. Very excited to be a part of it. Yeah, very excited.
I'm just thrilled to be part of something that was so kind of iconic, that meant so much to so many people. Like everyone's been saying, you know, when you get handed a present like this, you think, ooh, lovely. You know, something that had a whole generation had such a connection to, and to be part of taking that to, I keep saying, to the next generation. And it's exciting. It's also a little bit scary because you don't want to break it, and you want to, you know, you want something that has meant a lot to keep meaning a lot, to go forward and to grow, and you know, and to be something that that maybe in another 30 years' time, the next cast will be rebooting and will mean just as much because we did a good job. So you kind of think, you feel excited, you also feel the responsibility, and that's a nice place to be, frankly. So, I'd like to say, in 30 years' time, I will also still be available, so.
Danny Nermeyer, Inspector Space Guy. I've been a fan of the comics like since before I could read. Like that's like how I learned to read. Are you guys gonna adapt the Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck issues?
We try not to adapt any straight stories. What we try to do is we take all of the stories that exist and incorporate them into the background, into kind of the fabric of the story that we're working on. But it was mandatory. Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck was mandatory reading for every writer on the show. I mean, it deepens the character in ways that are incredible, and it definitely informed us.
And I think this will be our last question. Sorry about it. I'm sorry.
This question's for David.
Oh.
I'm Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
Oh my God, David's in it. Somebody
And by the way, after the panel, David's going to say everybody's name.
He's just going to be saying names.
So that's what you're into. So, and even if your name is Joanne, they'll give you your own Joanne.
Or Joe or Joni, any variant. We're going to cover it all. It's going to be like Siri.
My question is, what method of acting do you prefer? Do you prefer theater, television, audio?
Oh, I just like being out there. I like that people will employ me. I like that I get to do a variety of different things. It's all, you know, it's all different. It's all, you know, I like the variety. I like that I get to have the great fortune to work, and I never stop to thank you. My love stars that will employ me.
Thank you.
Alright guys, so if you want to catch this panel, there's a poster and autograph session at 5 p.m. in AA05. I don't know where that is, but enjoy. There's the location.
Thank you, everyone.
And there's some signings from these guys tomorrow, but give